Hello everyone, and welcome to Fit a Little Bit channel. This topic, as put on the thumbnail, is about why you should not date your mechanic. Of course, I have not personally dated my mechanic or anyone that works for me, but the issue did come up this week in a few conversations with some friends. How am I tying this into being financially fit? Sometimes we try to do things where we can get a deal, and that may require, in terms of your vehicle, going to an at-home mechanic. They call them a shade tree mechanic. I don't call them shade tree because sometimes the mechanics work at home is better than when you go to different shops and different places. My rule of thumb is with car repairs, because I've lived in different states, and sometimes I didn't have family there. I would keep 3 persons or entities that worked on my vehicle or vehicles at that time. Usually the dealership. Boo to the dealership, because they charge you like $200 just to walk in. You haven't even gotten an oil change. They use some very expensive cappuccino. And it doesn't matter what you're there for, you're gonna leave there paying for something that costs at least $250. So I keep a dealership as a last resort. Then the second, I keep a repair company or a repair shop that's in a neighborhood. Usually it's next to a gas station or a nail shop or somewhere in the neighborhood that does car repairs, generally in the neighborhood. So I go to the regular neighborhood and keep a car repair person there. Last resort is I keep an at-home mechanic for just simple things, like sometimes an oil change, or just to get routine things like getting the brake pads and things changed. And if you live in a place where you got 20 million potholes and your tires are bigger than what they should be, you typically go to at-home mechanic to get a hub assembly or something along those lines repaired or replaced. And you go to the dealership to purchase the parts, and you take them to a mechanic, and he will generally put those parts on for you. I've had the same mechanic for all different type of vehicles for about 10 to 12, maybe 15 years. I had him for a long time. He's referred by another friend, and I refer people to him in my family, or I refer just people who trying to get small things done. Okay, financially fit. We go there to those places because we're trying to save money on routine work. The rule of you get what you pay for, it is the honest 100% true. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be 10 years from now, it may be 11 or 12. But you generally get what you pay for. Reasons not to date the mechanic, and I'm listing these reasons because I had to explain this to my long-term mechanic. We become decently social friends. I would take my vehicle, whatever vehicle was down at the time, I needed maintenance at that time, I would take the vehicle to him, to his home, and then I would go ahead and go to work and then come back after work, because generally the mechanic at home does not have a lobby or anything for you to wait in, and there will be no serving of any type of coffee. You're gonna probably have to get you some type of ice cream from the little ding dong truck that's riding around in the neighborhood to give a kid $1 to go over and buy you some type of ice cream. So those type of services are not available generally at a mechanic at his home. However, instead of paying $150 an hour for a repair, he pays 60 to 65 hours, $60 to $65 an hour for a repair, which that means you're getting cut in half. And if you're talking about a repair job that generally costs $500, you'll pay between $250 to $275. So it's sort of worth not having the amenities generally. I don't care what your income is. Generally it's worth going to those places. Well, anyway, over time I'm getting my vehicles fixed. I'm referring people there. I guess my mechanic developed some type of attraction to me, which was insane, because he had been knowing me forever. He knew me forever in terms of me coming to a shop, dropping off, picking up my car, and he kind of knew my personality. But apparently something must have got in the doggone oil base or something. He thought it was appropriate to try to approach me, and I'm not even available, and he knows, you know, that I'm not available. But anyway, I'm going to give you guys the reasons you should not date the mechanic, which are the reasons that I gave him. He didn't particularly like it, but anyway. Number one, first of all, if you're going to date your clients, do you really think your clients are going to keep paying you? They're not. No one is going to date you, and this goes for men and women. And you're repairing their vehicle. You get into a relationship. I'm not going to pay for services. I mean, that doesn't make, you know, really any sense. So you're going to lose income, Mr. Mechanic or Mrs. Mechanic. So do not date your clientele, because the $200-300 you're spending or you're receiving a month that client is giving you per month, you're not going to get that money because we're in a relationship. And if we're in a relationship, why am I paying for your services? If that's the case, then if you come to me for advice, I got to charge you, you know, per hour. You're not going to want to pay me. Secondly, you're going to incur debt, because if we're dating, I'm not going to buy my own parts. We're in a relationship. So I'm thinking that, okay, you're going to buy my parts, you know, as well. And secondly, it's just not good to mix, you know, business or something with pleasure. If you meet someone and you date them and then you find out, you know, they're a mechanic, then it's not a problem, I don't think, to, you know, date them. But in any type of employee-employer relationship, you know, a contractor, you know, employment contract, I just don't think that you should mix, you know, business with pleasure. And with mechanics, their relationship never ends. As long as I have a vehicle, I'm gonna, you know, need some type of, you know, car repairs. I don't care if you're driving a 2015 vehicle, you're gonna need some type of car repair. So nope, it's not gonna work. And on top of that, a mechanic, everything is done at home. He works, you know, out of the house. You pay him at the house. You pick the car up at the house. They always seem to always be at home. Sometimes you don't even have to call. I mean, you just roll up, you know, to the house, and they seem to already have 2-3 other people. So in my mind, you know, how are you going to date someone and you're always at home? So we're not going to go on a date. Where do we go? Movies at Netflix or something? I'm not going to do Netflix. So you're always working, you know, 5, 6, 7 days a week. Then you know, this may be a stereotype, and I'm sure a mechanic can chime in and correct me. I don't mind being corrected. But aren't their fingernails like dirty or something all the time? So your fingers and things are dirty. That's not gonna work out. That's fine if you're my mechanic and you're working on my car, but that's not fine if you want to put your arm around me and we do some smooching. Your fingernails are dirty. That's not gonna work out. More importantly, not more importantly, but the last thing is, I just would prefer not to date a mechanic. I was very happy in our little, you know, relationship with me paying him. I was going to get something done every month on some vehicle or another, and sending him a lot of clients to me, because if you get they don't do any advertising at Home Mechanics, so everything, you know, is by referral. So to be getting new business to me, I thought was a good deal. Maybe that's what his attraction was to me, that I was sending him business. Maybe he thought I was some super duper marketing person and I can brand him, you know, his garage. But he didn't even have a garage. I can brand his business, you know, well for him, and people will just keep coming. But no, that's not the case. I really just liked the way he did work on my car. I've never had to take a vehicle back because something was not done. He was very honest and upfront, and whatever he said was wrong with the car, it generally is what was wrong. He just got, I think, sucked into my loving. Maybe he smelled some of my perfume or cologne and got caught up in the mystical smells of my mango smelling body wash. I don't know. But sir, do not try to date your employer. And I personally just do not date the mechanics. Now, the person that maybe own a mechanic shop, maybe the Lexus dealership owner, maybe. But my mechanic, that's, you know, that's just not appropriate. So sadly, I'm back to the dealership with cash in hand, because you must have, I don't care what type of vehicle you have, you must have cash money when you go to the dealership. And you're not even going to meet the mechanic at the dealership. Like I previously said, you're going to get a cappuccino It's going to be hot and ready. You're going to talk to a guy named Stan. He's going to give you a long list for $79 of all these things that's wrong with your car. That ain't even what you came there for. And then it's going to be a guy in the back named Mike that you never going to meet that's going to fix your car. It's going to be A1 whether it was broke or not. The sad thing is the minimum I'm going to spend, I'm sure, is $350. So I'm sure Stan or Mike from the back is not going to try to date me, and that's fine. I'm just going to have to go back to paying $350 minimum $350 minimum a visit, and no longer be paying $100 to $125 to go to the mechanic in the neighborhood and get a good deal. So I'm getting what I paid for. Nobody will be trying to date me. My car will be fixed. I mean, it's always fixed correctly, but it'll be fixed. I'll have a nice hot cappuccino, but I'm going to be spending minimum of $350 each visit. Moral to the story: if you can get you a good, honest mechanic that is not trying to date you, and you can save money doing that, then of course do that as long as you can. But on the flip side, you know, you get sort of what you pay for. The amenities you're not going to have. It's going to be an ice cream truck. You may get wet outside. It's not going to be a loaner car. And after 10, 12 years, he may try to date you. So ride it out as long as you can. Save as much as you can. And then eventually you're going to more than likely end up being back to the dealership. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. Do not forget to subscribe. I need subscribers. I like subscribers, and then when I download a new video, you guys will know automatically. Thank you, and thank you for coming to Fit a Little Bit channel. Goodbye.